Cowboys Nation, what on earth did we just watch? That was not just a loss. That was an outright collapse, a performance so flat that even the scoreboard doesn't tell the full story. 20 points on paper looks bad, but it doesn't even scratch the surface of how completely outmatched the Cowboys were from start to finish. There was no energy, no rhythm, no spark. It felt like the life got drained out of the team before the second quarter even started. And now, here we are, staring down another painful Monday morning, trying to make sense of what went wrong this time. Be honest with yourself for a second. How are you feeling right now? Good? Maybe you're one of those eternal optimists, the type who can watch a train wreck and still find a silver lining. If that's you, respect. But I gotta say, it's hard to find anything positive in what we saw. Bad? Totally fair. You've got every right to be frustrated, because that defense looks like it couldn't stop a high school team at this point. Or maybe you're just indifferent, right? That kind of numb feeling where you still care, but you don't even have the energy to get mad anymore. Wherever you are on that emotional spectrum, I get it. Because this one hit hard. Let's talk about the biggest issue first, this defense. My God, it's like watching the same nightmare on repeat every single week. The Cowboys can't stop the run, they can't rush the passer, they can't cover, and they can't even tackle properly. Every opposing quarterback suddenly looks like a Hall of Famer when he plays against this team. I mean, what's going on here? Are we cursed? Because it sure feels like every week, some backup quarterback or struggling offense suddenly finds their rhythm when the Cowboys show up on the schedule. And at some point, you have to stop blaming bad luck or injuries and start asking real questions about the coaching. How many more times can this defense come out flat, look unprepared, and get torched before someone in the front office says enough is enough? It's the same coaching staff, the same mistakes, and the same excuses. Maybe this time they'll figure it out, right? Yeah, that's what we keep telling ourselves. But deep down, we know the truth. It's not working. It hasn't worked in a long time. You can point to missing players, sure. Injuries in the secondary, thin depth at linebacker, whatever. But even with that, great defenses find ways to compete. This group just doesn't. They do absolutely nothing well. The tackling is sloppy, the assignments are blown, and the communication is non-existent. They look lost out there. And it's not like they're just getting beat by elite teams either. Denver, Carolina, Chicago. None of those teams have top-tier offenses, yet they made Dallas look like a college squad outmatched in every possible way. When average offenses consistently look like juggernauts against you, that's not a talent issue anymore. That's a coaching problem. Period. And look, I don't even know if firing the defensive coordinator fixes everything at this point, but it feels like we've hit rock bottom. How much worse could it possibly get? The only reason this team hasn't given up 50 points in a game is because the opponents stop trying once they realize they don't need to score anymore. It's brutal. You can't win in this league when your defense plays like that. You just can't. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Is the season over? I know a lot of people are ready to throw in the towel. Say it's done, start looking toward the draft. I get that frustration, but let's slow down a second. Mathematically, the season isn't over yet. The Cowboys aren't eliminated. There's still a path, a narrow one, but it's there. The problem is belief is fading fast. The confidence is gone, and with a tough schedule ahead, it's hard to imagine this team suddenly flipping a switch and going on a run. They've already dropped games they absolutely had to win. Those matchups against the Bears, Panthers, and Broncos, you can't afford to lose all of those if you want to stay in the playoff race. Now the margin for error is microscopic, and unless this defense pulls off a miracle turnaround, it's hard to see them climbing back. Maybe they can hover around 500, maybe sneak out a few gritty wins down the stretch. But does anyone really think this version of the Cowboys can make a deep playoff push? Honestly, it doesn't look like it. The talent gap, the lack of discipline, the emotional drain, it's all catching up to them. And I'll say this, when a fan base starts using the word therapy to describe their post-game shows, you know things are bad. Because that's what this has become. It's not excitement anymore. It's not even outrage. It's group therapy. We all come together on Mondays, not to celebrate a win, but to talk through the pain of another Sunday meltdown. It's exhausting. But that's what being a fan is sometimes. You ride the highs, and when the lows hit, you just hope they don't bury you completely. So now, Everyone's asking the same question. What happens next? Do you make a move? Shake things up? Trade for some defensive help? Or do you just ride it out, accept that this isn't the year, and focus on rebuilding for the next one? It's a tough call, because, honestly, this defense needs help everywhere. Pass rushers, linebackers, corners, safeties. Pick a position, it's a problem. And with so many holes, it's not like one big trade is going to fix everything overnight. You could bring in a superstar and still be a few steps behind the top teams. But even saying that, there's something in the DNA of this franchise that makes you want to believe. Cowboys fans always find a way to hold on to hope, even when it feels foolish. Because this team, for all its flaws, for all its heartbreak, still has that glimmer of potential buried somewhere under the chaos. The offense has shown flashes. The talent is there in spots. The question is whether the leadership can bring it all together before it's too late. And I'm not sure they can. At least, not with the same approach, not with the same complacency we've seen week after week. Something has to change. The energy, the accountability, the identity, everything feels off right now. You can see it in the body language, in the post-game interviews, in the way players react after a missed tackle or blown coverage. It's a team searching for answers, but no one seems to have any. That's what makes this stretch so critical. Because if things don't turn around soon, the season won't just slip away. It'll crash and burn completely. And once the locker room loses belief, that's it. You can't recover from that. It becomes a spiral, and we've seen that story before. So yeah, Cowboys Nation, we're at a crossroads here. It's gut check time. Either this team finds its fight again, or we're in for a long, painful second half of the season. And I don't know about you, but I'm tired of watching the same script play out. I'm tired of the excuses, the we'll learn from this press conferences, the empty promises. It's time for someone, whether it's a coach, a captain, or whoever, to stand up and take ownership. Because if they don't, then yeah, maybe this really is the end of the line for this version of the Cowboys. All right, let's keep it real, Cowboys Nation. If the first part of that meltdown was hard to watch, what comes next might be even tougher to swallow. Because the truth is, this isn't just about one bad game or one bad week. This feels like something deeper, like a team that's lost its sense of who it is. The Cowboys used to be a squad that prided itself on physicality, swagger, and resilience. Now they look timid, reactive, and unsure of themselves. The defense doesn't know where to line up half the time, and the offense plays like it's scared to take chances. It's not just execution, it's attitude. You can feel it slipping away, and no amount of film study or press conference talk can fix that overnight. And that's why so many fans are calling for change. The cries to fire the defensive coordinator have grown louder than ever, and honestly, it's hard to argue against it anymore. When your defense looks this lost for this long, you can't just keep pretending it's going to magically turn around. It won't. It hasn't. The players look disconnected from the scheme, like they don't even believe in what they're being asked to do. That's not just a bad day. That's a systemic problem. You watch them miss assignments, give up big plays, and then jog back to the huddle with blank expressions. That's not a team fighting for their coach. That's a team going through the motions. And when you reach that point, it's time for leadership to make a real decision. But firing a coordinator won't suddenly make this defense elite. It might shake things up, it might spark some emotion for a week or two, but the problems run deeper than one man with a headset. The roster construction itself feels uneven. You've got talent, yes, but it's scattered. You've got veterans who seem checked out, young guys thrown into the fire before they're ready, and a middle layer of players who don't fit the system they're in. It's like a puzzle that doesn't quite go together. You can see the individual pieces, you know what they're supposed to be, but when you put them together, it just doesn't look right. Take the secondary, for example. There's been constant shuffling, constant confusion, and zero chemistry. You've got corners who can't keep up with speedy receivers, safeties taking bad angles, and linebackers getting dragged downfield like they're wearing cement boots. It's not one position group failing. It's all of them failing together, which is somehow worse. And the pass rush, which was supposed to be the heartbeat of this defense, has gone missing. You can't let quarterbacks sit in the pocket that long and expect good things to happen. Every week, it's the same story. No pressure, wide open receivers, busted coverages repeat. And as bad as the defense has been, the offense hasn't exactly been inspiring either. The rhythm is off. The play calling feels predictable. You can see the frustration on the quarterback's face after every stall drive. They're not having fun out there, and that matters. When a team loses its joy, it loses its edge. Football is emotion. It's energy. You can't fake that. And right now, the Cowboys look emotionally drained. It's not just losing games that hurts, it's losing belief. You can't coach confidence back into players who have lost faith in the system. You have to earn it, play by play, week by week. And that brings us to the next big question floating around: trades. Should the Cowboys make one? Is there even a move out there that can turn this around? On paper, yeah, you could add a defender or two, maybe find a spark somewhere, but let's be honest, one trade isn't saving this season. You need a complete defensive overhaul, and that doesn't happen in October. You can't rebuild chemistry mid-season. You can patch holes, sure, but you can't fix a sinking ship by plugging one leak. The right move might actually be to hold steady, painful as that sounds. Focus on evaluating what you've got. See who's really part of the long-term picture and who's just taking up space. That's where the conversation about Trayvon Diggs gets interesting. His situation has been a cloud hanging over this team. The tension between him and the front office has been building for months, and now it feels like we've hit the point of no return. The frustration, the rehab drama, the miscommunication, it's all added up. And look, you can understand both sides. The team expected him to step up as a leader after getting paid, but leadership isn't something you can force on someone. At the same time, Diggs has every right to be frustrated with how the organization handled things. It's a messy situation, and when that kind of energy lingers in the locker room, it spreads. You can feel it in the way guys talk, in the way they carry themselves. It's like everyone's walking on eggshells, waiting for the next controversy to hit. And here's the reality: no one's trading for him right now. Not with his injury, not with that contract. He's too valuable to just give away, but too complicated to build around until things get cleared up. So what do? You wait. You hope cooler heads prevail. But deep down, you kind of know how this story ends. Relationships like that rarely recover fully. It's only a matter of time before both sides quietly move on. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Whispers are growing louder in the NFL world, and if the latest buzz proves true, the Dallas Cowboys are on the verge of making a statement that could shake the entire league. According to sources close to the organization, the Cowboys are reportedly finalizing a deal to bring in star pass rusher Brian Burns, a move that would instantly elevate Dallas' defensive identity. The chatter, as insiders put it, is that the front office is determined to assert total dominance on defense next season, and Burns is seen as the missing piece. Burns, known for his explosive first step and relentless pursuit of quarterbacks, has been one of the league's most feared edge rushers in recent years. Fans and analysts alike have speculated on which contender could land him, but the Cowboys appear to have positioned themselves aggressively. This is about setting a tone, one anonymous source suggested. Dallas doesn't just want to compete, they want to intimidate. If the rumors hold water, pairing Burns with the likes of Micah Parsons could create a nightmare scenario for opposing quarterbacks, potentially turning Dallas into the defensive powerhouse everyone feared but no one could predict. The timing of the talks also adds intrigue. With the offseason in full swing, the Cowboys seem intent on moving fast, signaling a no-nonsense approach to roster construction. Some insiders are suggesting that this isn't merely a transaction, it's a declaration. By luring Burns to Dallas, the team could be sending a message to the NFC. The Cowboys are serious, and the defensive line will no longer be a secondary conversation. Meanwhile, league pundits are already buzzing about the ripple effect this could have across the NFL. Rival teams may be forced to rethink draft strategies, free agent priorities, and even offensive schemes when they realize the Cowboys might be assembling a defensive juggernaut. Of course, nothing is official yet, and the NFL is full of twists and turns. But the excitement surrounding Burns' potential landing in Dallas is palpable. Fans have flooded social media with speculation, imagining highlight reels of Burns and Parsons terrorizing offensive lines, and analysts are debating whether this could finally be the defensive boost Dallas needs to go all the way. Whether it's a done deal or still in the rumor mill, one thing is clear. The Cowboys' defensive aspirations just went from ambitious to downright intimidating. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.